All right, here we go. Take your knife, let's start on a smooth place, and hold it at a 45-degree angle like so, and push it in, and slowly saw it back and forth. You should be able to feel if it's going through. You wanna, your clay is probably pretty thick right here, so you're gonna definitely wanna push it in as far as you can get that to go. Now you can see I didn't follow my line exactly right there. It's okay. Just do your best. Try not to get your knife too sideways. Keep it kind of angled down. If you make it too sideways, it's probably not going to go through the clay. Okay, I'm almost to where I started. Right there is where I started. You can see how I lifted it up. Now, it's very soft, so it could get deformed really easily. I'm just going to pull up with my knife like this to try and get it off without deforming it. If you get to this point and you can't get your lid off, come find me. I will help you, okay? I'll do my best. There, it's almost off. Right there, it's just stuck. There, okay. That's what it looks like on the inside. Ho, ho, ho. If you take your plastic bag that you had it wrapped in and kind of make a little pillow, you can set your lid gently on that little squishy pillow, and that will help it so it doesn't get ruined, right? All right, now this needs to be cleaned up. You want this to be perfectly smooth, and you want to get rid of all the extra clay. You can see how thick the clay is there. Like this is not too bad, but this is way too thick. So one of the things we're going to do is we're going to use the scoopy tool to scoop out as much as we can. So you just kind of put it in there like that, and you can scoop out the clay. This is going to take you a little bit of time, okay? So you just kind of work at it like so, and try to get out as much as you can. I'm not going to really get this perfectly finished right now. I would say this particular pumpkin needs a lot of scooping because it's very thick. You can also use the flat part of this tool, make sure there's no dried clay on it, and get the bottom. Now be careful, because if your clay is not super thick, you could easily poke this right through the bottom, and I have had students accidentally poke holes in their work because they didn't realize how thick it is. You know, take your fingers and your thumb and feel it. How thick is it right there? Because even though it might be this thick up here, it might be thinner at the bottom. Also, since your clay is pretty wet, you can take your finger too and smooth out any of those little clay bumps that are in there. I'm just kind of wiping them off my fingers after I do it. So I can check, first of all, oh, did you see what just happened right there? See how my wall moved in and out? Be careful of that, because guess what's going to happen? Your lid will not fit anymore if you change the shape of your pumpkin, right? So you got to be careful of those kinds of things. Then we can take a wooden tool, or you can use your finger for this too, but you want to clean up this edge and smooth it out. Just keep wiping off all those little clay bumps that you get, either on your board or on your fingers, just to you know, so they're not in the way and so they don't cause issues or get stuck back in there. But you want this edge to be perfectly smooth, okay? And then once you have this all the way smooth all the way around, which this one isn't yet, but you got the idea, I think, then you can do the same thing to your lid. So in here, these little places, that's where you squished the clay together to make the stem. That stuff needs to go. If you don't do this step right here, you could have hidden air bubbles in there. You might not even know it. So it's really important to scoop this stuff out, because there might be an air bubble in there. Be careful, because you still might be changing the shape of your lid, and because I can feel this thing squishing in my hands too. You don't want it to change so much that it doesn't fit anymore, and you're probably going to have to remake it fit again. And then smooth out this too. You can see all that bumpy stuff that's right there. All that should be nice and smooth and pretty. If you want to make a lip, remember I showed you in the first video how it's kind of nice to have a little edge to stop the lid from sliding. You can take some of this extra clay that you have scooped off, and you can kind of make a little raised edge right here. But remember, you gotta join it on really, really well. We're not slipping and scoring here, but you do have to make sure that it is fully attached. And you would keep doing that. You could even like take some of this wet clay that you just rolled out of there, scooped out of there, and roll it into a little tube, right, a little coil. And then attach that. Just make sure it gets fully attached. I need a tinier tool right there. Oh, some kids outside are being a little wild. I don't know if you guys can hear them or not. Kids are waiting to get in. Anyways, you would do that all the way around. Now, here's the trick. Here is the ultimate thing that we need to do before we stick it back on there. You need to take some of the edge. So this is the outside edge of the plastic bag. I'm just gonna tear it with my fingers like this and kind of try to rip it in a long piece. If you can't rip it like this, then take some scissors and cut it. You want a long, skinny piece of plastic. And you're going to take this plastic and you're going to put it around your pumpkin like this, and that will prevent this from re-sticking, because if it re-sticks, then you're just gonna have to start all over again. Find where it fits like that, and then bend and twist your pumpkin so that it goes back together. And today, when you put this away, we're going to leave a little more air in the bag because we want these to be leather hard by Monday. So you're going to take your pumpkin now. Obviously, still make sure your name is easy to see, but we're just going to do this. We're just going to kind of let a little bit of air get in, okay?